Okay, so I'm going to continue do a little bit more kind of explanation or talk about why you would want to carry a GPS or compass with you, especially in an urban environment. So in my previous couple weeks ago, I did a post on urban movement. We talked about how to kind of prep to move through an urban environment without being detected. And one of those things was to turn off your GPS and not to use your maps feature on your cell phone. No, nowadays, most people do most of their navigation, especially in an urban environment and when driving, using a car or a GPS. And so what that's done is it's created an entire generation of people who can't read or don't know how to read a paper map, which is kind of interesting. So it's a skill essentially that is kind of being lost on the next generation, like the use of a rotary phone. So why you would want to carry a GPS or a compass in an urban environment when you're moving through is that even though your GPS is a receiver, it's not a transceiver, so you can't. It's not about people finding your location, for example, using the GPS feature. It's that the GPS feature is going to log your movements through an area. And so if you have that on, potentially if someone wanted to confiscate your phone and create evidence or whatever, they're going to be able to follow your trail throughout a day or week or whatever it is that you have that on. So if you need to move through an area without being detected, where you don't want people to know that you'd gone through an area, then you're going to need to go old school and carry a map and use a compass or a separate GPS. And that will be quite helpful because then obviously there's no trace in that. Now, oftentimes people get confused about compasses. And in most cases, in many cases, especially in an urban environment, all you really need to do is to become oriented to north, south, east, and west. And this is something that people say, like in a mountainous area like Denver, they go to a place like Chicago and they get completely turned around because they don't have any large landmarks like the mountains to know north, south, east, and west. So oftentimes when you're going into a new environment, it is kind of handy to be able to pull out a compass and be able to say, okay, what are my general cardinal directions? And that's the same for the woods as well. And so sometimes just having a compass for that kind of reference is super handy. So we can apply. One of the things that I think a lot of people forget about is that navigation can be done in a city just as much as in the woods. And oftentimes navigation as a skill set is easily forgotten because people don't practice it enough, because they're not in a wilderness environment where they would need a map and compass. And so what I would say is go out and try practicing with your map and compass, even if you're in a city area in a park. I found this map, for example, of a town fairly of a touristy town, and it had kind of the basic streets in the area. And you can use this map for map and compass skills. You don't need to have a topographical map like this, a 7.5 minute map or a 1 in 25 USGS map for map and compass skills. All right, so you can use a regular paper map of any kind of quality to use your map and compass skills. So what you could do is lay your compass down just like that, and what you're going to do is you're going to create your own grids. And so you're just going to take a pencil and create your own grid just like this. Now that you have parallel maps, you can use your compass, your protractor on your compass, to start measuring bearings and whatnot. Now, what I would do is I would actually set, instead of these lines being perpendicular, I would set these lines, offset them for your declination. So then now you don't have to adjust adding or subtracting for your declination because it's already adjusted on your map. So you can be in a city, you can go and be in a city park, you could be in a state park with a shitty map, and you could still use your map and compass skills, no problem. The other thing I'll say about having a compass with you in an urban environment is that you can use this to set traps. So what do I mean by that? Let's say this map case is, let's use this. This book is my computer sitting on my desk in my hotel room. I can set my compass next to my computer. I can set the compass, the degrees in which the compass, the laptop is sitting, and then I could leave, go about my day. I can come back, put my compass down next to my computer, and if the computer was moved in just the slightest bit, I'll know that the computer has been tampered with by the maid staff or whatever. So it's a way that you can kind of keep your belongings checked. You obviously won't know who tampered with your computer, but you would know that your computer was tampered with. So that is why you'd want to carry a compass in an urban environment.